David 67 Celtic News YouTube channel today, Thursday, the 28th of September. Good news is we passed target number 2 and subscriber numbers into the hundreds now. And I'm very grateful for those who have subscribed to help me reach target number 2. I'm going to move on to target number 3 now. And so please like and subscribe. Do click the wee subscribe button. Click the like button for the video as well, please. And it really does help boost the channel and boost my happiness. Again, quite a quiet news day for Celtic due to the fact that we had no midweek fixture this week, but this has allowed a lot of Celtic's players to get fit again after their injuries, and also for several of the players to work their way back through back to fitness with training, and also has allowed our new signings such as Luis Palma, Paulo Bernardo, a good chance to get used to their teammates and Brendan Rodgers and the Celtic coaching staff's ways of organising training and tactics, etc. It has to be remembered that almost as soon as Luis Palma and Bernardo signed on the dotted line for Celtic, they were away on international duty, and so did not get the benefit of the 10 days at Celtic Park that was the case for Nat Phillips and the other players who were not away on international duty last time around. Excuse me. So, in terms of news, Brendan Rodgers gave a press conference, a few interesting little tidbits of information and news coming out of that. He confirmed that Celtic are in contract talks with Reo Hatate, stressing, however, that this was being taken by Michael Nicholson instead, and that he wasn't involved with the transfer as the new contract talks, but did indicate that the contract is looking to extend his deal one further year, which would take it to 2027, and also increasing his wages in line with Celtic's other stars. He was non-committal as to whether similar talks are ongoing for Matt O'Reilly, but other sources coming out of Celtic do indicate that Celtic are actively looking at extending Matt O'Reilly's contract and also bringing his wages in line with the other Celtic stars. I think, as I said earlier in prior videos, I think Celtic do have money to extend contracts and increase players' wages, and that although their transfer window wasn't quite as fruitful as we had hoped, particularly in terms of signing a new goalkeeper and new left back. However, the new contracts for players such as Kyogo, Abada, Dyson Maeda, and now on the verge of Reo Hatate, is almost as good as signing a brand new player. He also confirmed at the press conference that CCV is now back into training with his teammates. However, any thought of a return to first team action will not be until after the next international break, which will be in mid-October, and so Celtic are lining him up for CCV to start his first fixture after this most recent injury against Hearts on the 22nd, with a view to having him ready for Champions League action against Atletico Madrid on the 25th. Other good news coming out regarding injuries was that Nat Phillips is expected to be fit for Saturday's game against Motherwell and definitely fit for the game against Lazio next week, which of course is good news as we will be missing Gustav Lagerbielke, who is suspended for that match, and the other centre backs, such as Welsh and Carter Vickers, are not fit yet. Nawrocki wasn't in the squad due to injury, and so our options at centre back are quite limited, with really only Scales and Phillips as specialist centre backs, with players who can cover that position, such as Iwata and Alistair Johnston, the other options. Good news that Phillips will be fit for Motherwell, and I would expect that Phillips will start on Saturday alongside Scales to give them 90 minutes of practice together so that they develop a better understanding, as they did look rather shaky together in the game against Dundee when Phillips got his ankle injury. The other option would be, of course, playing Lagerbielke alongside Scales, as they have developed quite a good understanding, I think, and they've got better and better as a pair since the Rangers match. But I think for preparation for the Champions League match against Lazio, it would be best to have Phillips and Scales together. Rodgers did not indicate any other of the injured players are getting back into training, and did not comment on players such as Mikey Johnston and Marco Tilio, who have come back into action with B team and playing in the weekend testimonial match, where Tilio actually played as a more central midfielder to allow Vata and Johnson to play out wide. I would expect that Tilio will be on the bench at the weekend alongside Yang, and feel that it is time that Celtic gave Luis Palma a proper run in the side, given that our first choice for wide right of the attacking three, Lila Bada, is going to be out until 2024. And so I think for continuity and development, Luis Palma needs to start on Saturday, and same again against Lazio, and then again for the final league fixture before the international break. However, I have popped a poll into the community section to ask for your opinions also as to who Celtic should start wide right, assuming that we have Kyogo through the middle and Dyson Maida on the left. And so the options I see at wide right of the attacking three would be Luis Palma, Yang, James Forrest, and Marco Tilio. I personally would go for Luis Palma, as I just explained, but feel free to pop any comments in the comment section and do indicate your selection of choice for wide right in the community section poll. The other interesting thing that Brendan Rodgers made comment on in his conference yesterday, along the same lines as the need to give Luis Palma a proper run in the side, was regarding succession planning. He was indicating that Celtic are actively looking at succession planning, replacing players who are coming to the end of their contract, and those who may well be leaving Celtic either due to their contract ending or transfer. There are stories that Ajax are looking to recruit and sign Leila Bada in the next winter transfer window, which is another reason for us actively blooding players such as Paolo Bernardo and Marco Delio, Yang, and Luis Palma over the next few weeks, as I would also expect that the interest in Matt O'Reilly will be rather significant in the winter transfer window also. However, Rodgers did agree that succession planning for a new goalkeeper was one of Celtic's main areas, although he says he still has full faith in Joe Hart and feels Joe Hart is ageless and can carry on for years to come. I personally would like to see Celtic sign a new goalkeeper in their mid-20s so that we have goalkeeper continuity for several seasons, like we had when we had Craig Gordon or Arthur Boruc or Fraser Forster, etc., where we knew who our number one goalkeeper was, and we had full faith in their ability in goals. Always one of the priorities should be planning for the future, which is why I also was quite reassured that Celtic earlier in the summer did extend the contracts of Ben McPherson, Ben Summers, and Bozen Lawal, and really hope that over the next couple of months, Celtic and Rocco Vata's agents get together to extend his contract and keep him at Celtic rather than letting him go away for minor compensation fees. Final wee thing just to update is that the poll regarding the who you would prefer to see replacing Joe Hart on Saturday, when Joe Hart is having his red card ban, one match suspension, continues. The numbers have slightly changed, and most recently, the vote was Siegrist 80% and Scott Bain 20%. And so a little bit of extra votes for Scott Bain instead of Siegrist. I do personally feel Siegrist is the better option, but again, given the fact that Scott Bain really is lacking full match practice, and there is always the possibility of him having to come on against Lazio if Hart gets injured or red carded again, then I'm pretty sure Rodgers will go with Bain instead of Siegrist against Motherwell, and we'll need to cross our fingers that Scott Bain has a good game rather than the disaster of his one game last season where we lost 4 goals to Hibs at the end of the season. So, finishes things off for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Do try to click the like and subscribe button. Have a wee go at the Celtic Motherwell themed trivia question in the community section, and also, if you can, have a wee look at the online poll regarding who should be Celtic's wide right player on Saturday, and also the poll regarding Siegrist or Bain to replace Hart remains open also. So, for today, speak again tomorrow. Goodbye and hail, hail.
Yeah.